Hello, long time no see. I think my last video I posted on Valentine's Day, and it is March 5th when I'm filming this. It's been a minute. In my defense, what today's video is about is also my explanation as to why I kind of went MIA for a minute there. I don't even want to say it out loud, but I fear I've been in a little bit of a book slump. I hate saying it out loud, I really do, because I like to pretend that I'm not in a book slump, but I fear I just need to admit it. I have been in a bit of a book slump. Reading slumps are literally the worst, but we are going to combat it today together. I'm currently in the middle of a book. I'm reading Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter, and I'm honestly not even in the middle. I'm pretty close to being done with it, and I'm loving it. I really, truly am loving it. I love Liz and Wes so much. They're so cute, but I'm not gonna lie to you, I haven't touched it in like a week, maybe like a little over a week. Not because I don't like it, I'm loving it, just simply because I just cannot like get myself to pick up a book. And when I made this channel, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna be honest. So this is me being honest. I keep seeing everybody else on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube being like, here are the 12 books I read in February, and I'm like, yeah, I've been reading the same book since like late January. We're honest here, but we are going to finish Better Than the Movies today together. So I don't know if anybody else is like this, but one way that can sometimes, and what I'm hoping will get me out of this reading slump, is sometimes just finishing a book that I'm reading will get me out of a reading slump. There is something about the feeling of finishing a book and then having your entire bookshelf to choose from to like start another story that just really gets me back into reading. You know what I mean? You might not. This might be like just a me thing, but if I'm in a reading slump, once I finish that book and like get excited to like finish the book, find out how it's gonna end, start a new one, that can sometimes get me out of a book slump or a reading slump. And I think because of how much I am enjoying the book that I'm currently reading, I think finishing that will hopefully like propel myself out of this reading slump. So today's goal is we are gonna finish Better Than the Movies and hope that that is enough to get me out of this little reading slump. I have it right here. I am on page 253. I'm like pretty close. See, I only have like maybe 100-ish pages left. And again, like I said, I really am loving this book. So we're gonna finish this together today. I thought it would be fun to film a little reading vlog because I obviously haven't filmed a video in a while since I've been in a reading slump. It's been hard to film bookish videos when I haven't been reading. So we're gonna finish this together and we're gonna hope that it gets us out of a slump. I wanna read more about them. I just need to like get myself to physically read about them. Okay, now that this intro is filmed, I'm gonna put this book down for a little bit because I'm actually going out. It's like, I think 11 a.m., 11:30 maybe, I don't know, I haven't looked at the time in a minute, but I'm going out with my sisters for a little while. But I wanted to film our intro super quick, and then when we get home, this entire day is gonna be dedicated to finishing this book and starting my next read, hopefully. I'm not ending this video until I get out of a reading slump, but I'm just gonna hope that I can get out of it by finishing this and starting a new one. I've made it home. You can't tell I left. I'm in the exact same spot that I was in when I started, but it's like 1:20, so I'm gonna go make some lunch real quick, and then we are gonna start this book, and we are gonna finish it, and then we're gonna start our next book. And I think here are my options for what book we're gonna start next. Okay, so right now I have 3 options for what I might want to read next. Here they are. Option 1 is obviously to just move straight onto the sequel and read Nothing Like the Movies. It depends on how this first book ends, because if it ends and I'm just like, wow, I 100% want to read more of Liz and Wes immediately, then I will read this one. But I don't know like much about this book, but I do know one thing that happens in it because it says it on the back, but I also knew it beforehand. But I don't know if it's gonna be like super sad or something, and I don't know if I want to be like annoyed with characters right now, especially because reading Better Than the Movies, I'm really loving them so far, so I don't know if I'm gonna want to be annoyed by them so soon, but maybe. We'll come back and discuss after I finish the first book and see how it ends. Option 2 is Legendary. This is the second book in the Caraval series. I read the first one recently and I loved it so much. I haven't read like just a pure fantasy book in quite a while, and I read Caraval, however you say it. I read that book and I loved it, and so I got the second one and I haven't read this one yet. So this is a strong contender. I think this book follows Tella instead of Scarlet, which I'm intrigued about because, girl, my feelings about Tella were all over the place in that first book. So if this one does follow her, I'm very intrigued. The first book also ended on kind of a crazy cliffhanger, so I am very excited to get back into this universe. And then the third option, which is also a very strong contender, is You Shouldn't Have Come Here by Geneva Rose. I got this book from my sister for my birthday, and I haven't read it yet. It's a thriller, and it sounds so good on the back. And the reason this one is a strong contender is because I feel like whenever I get into like a bit of a reading slump, thrillers, mysteries, thrillers, horror books are the way to go for me, because thrillers are just so like keep you on your toes, if you know what I mean. And I feel like that's very good for getting out of a reading slump, is because every time I read a thriller, I just want to know what happens next. I want to know who like the killer is. I want to know who did it. I want to know like solve the mystery. So these are always good because then I finish the book, I get excited to pick up a new book, and then I pick up a thriller, and there's just so much that I want to know that it's hard to put down. So they tend to get me out of reading slumps pretty well, which is why I'm kind of leaning towards this one right now. But like I said, we will finish Better Than the Movies, and then we'll see how I'm feeling after that book to see which one we start next. I'm at a very specific part right now. If you've read the book, you can like, you know what chapter 12 is. They're just at a certain place, and I don't know what's gonna happen. I feel like it's either gonna go really badly or it's gonna go really well. And I hope it goes really well, but also I don't know if it will, and I'm kind of nervous. Also, I will say I wanted to film this video and help myself get out of this bit of a reading slump, but it really is one of my most mild reading slumps, because like for the past week or two, or like 3, I just have not been able to like sit down and read. And when I have, I've read like maybe a chapter at a time, and then I go days without reading. But once I do like get myself to sit down and read, I'm eating this book up. It's so good. It's just like the physical act of getting myself to not do anything and sit down and read that I've been struggling with. But we're gonna get there. We are there, in fact. Dude, I hate love triangles so much, and this scene, I can't. No. We have officially reached my least favorite part of like every book, which is third act conflict. I knew it was coming, obviously, but I just want to like curl up on myself. Like, I feel so bad for her, and like everything that's happening is a consequence of her own actions. And like while I was reading it, I was like, all of this is gonna happen. I knew it was, but now that it is happening, I just feel so bad. I'm currently on page 283, and there are 349 pages, I think, when I checked. So we're gonna finish it for sure. But this is the other problem, is every time I get to third act conflict, I hate stopping in the middle of third act conflict and it just started. But my dad is gonna be home from work soon, and I do have plans with him, so I'm gonna go do that, and then once we finish, it'll probably be time to eat dinner. But then we're gonna sit and we're gonna power through this third act conflict. She fully brought it on herself, but I'm just like, oh my god, like I don't want to deal with this right now, but I have to, because like I need to know how it ends. However, did you just see how excited I was to continue reading? I can already feel myself coming out of this reading slump. I think, like I said, it's a very mild reading slump this time, and I'm so lucky that this reading slump came on me while I'm reading a book I like and while I'm close to finishing it. I think if it is any other book, or if I was not so close to the end of this one, we would not be this lucky. I was literally saying at the beginning of this video that I love this book and I love the characters so much and blah 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 blah. Liz is really starting to piss me off right now. She's really starting to piss me off. And like, listen, I get it. I do. Like, I get it. She's going through it. Don't get me wrong. She's going through it because of the choices she willingly made, but she's still going through it. My gosh, my voice. And I get it. I feel for her. I do. However, that entire chapter was just her being in a bad mood because of the choices she made, and then choosing to go out of her way and say the meanest possible thing she could to all of the people who have done nothing but help her. Like, she's mad at them for like hurting her and hurting her feelings, and then she goes out of her way to say like the one thing that she knows would hurt both of their feelings the most. Like, I get it, girl, you're going through it, but you are really pissing me off right now. However, her being so annoying and this third act conflict is good for my reading slump, because I want nothing more than to just keep reading right now so I can get out of this and get to the part where it gets like fixed and she stops being quite so annoying. Hopefully. One more thing. This chapter literally starts with the sentence, "The days leading up to prom crept by, mostly because I was the world's biggest loner. Jocelyn wasn't talking to me, Wes was just a neighbor now, and Helena was completely avoiding me." And who set that system up, girl? Okay, that's all. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Okay, we are very close to being done. I'm on page 333, and I'm nervous. I'm nervous to finish this book a little bit. She's made up with Jocelyn and she's made up with Helena, and I really liked how she made up with both of them because clearly, as you saw, I was very annoyed with her. I was very annoyed with her when she was like being mean, but I think she made up with them really well. I love how like their makeup scenes were written, and now it's Wes's turn, and I thought it was gonna go really well, but I just got to a part where something might be happening and I'm a little nervous, but I'm gonna just hope it plays out well. I've acquired my reading buddy. So, me, you, and him, we are going to finally finish this book. It's taking me like 2 months to read this. The book. Okay, that was really cute. I definitely was getting very annoyed with Liz for a minute, but all is forgiven. All is forgiven. I love them. I love her and Wes so much. The epilogue was so cute, and it really did make me want to read the second book like ASAP. But I read the little synopsis on the back of this book. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous to read this one because this was so cute. And like I said, the epilogue was so cute and it made me want to read more. And then I read the synopsis and I was like, oh. I can't say though that I was right. Finishing this book, I can already feel the reading slump melting away from me. We're gonna have to see how quickly I can get into my next read. But finishing this book, I'm already just like, that was amazing. Like, I get such like a high off of finishing a good book that I'm like, I want to do that again immediately. And that's exactly how I'm feeling. I'm like, I want to pick up my next book ASAP. But this is so cute. I cannot believe, I don't know if I mentioned, but I have literally had this book sitting on my shelf for like 3 years. I think I bought this book in 2023 and it is 2026 and I'm only just getting around to reading it. I cannot believe it took me that long because that was so cute. I love them. I have narrowed down my next read to Nothing Like the Movies and You Shouldn't Have Come Here, and I think I'm gonna choose You Shouldn't Have Come Here, partly because I'm scared of this synopsis. I'm a little bit scared of that synopsis. Like I said, this reading slump has not been nice, and I have been reading Better Than the Movies for almost 2 months now. So after 2 months of watching these idiots pine for each other, and 10 seconds ago finally getting together, I'm not quite ready to read this second one yet. I'm not quite ready to deal with that. I want to let the happiness of them getting together sit with me for a minute before we get into the turmoil that I think this book is gonna be. So I think we're gonna go with You Shouldn't Have Come Here. Like I said earlier, thrillers are such a good way for me personally to get out of a reading slump because I get so easily invested in thrillers. It is my favorite genre to read. I also love to just read the first sentence of a book that I'm gonna read next before I even like start actually reading it. And already it starts with day one. I don't know how to explain it, guys. I just love this like setup of like having books be set in like days and stuff like this. So it's giving 5 Survive, it's giving Not Quite Dead Yet, and I'm very excited. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Did you see how at the beginning of this video I was very much like, oh my god, I need to force myself to sit down and read, and by the end of the video I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait to read. You've just actively watched a reading slump disappear. I'm back, and like an hour later, I have read only 1 chapter of this, but I didn't want to read too much because it is kind of late and I am getting kind of tired, but I really like what I have read so far. It's dual POV, which I did not know that before starting to read, but I love dual POV books, so I'm very excited about this. I feel like that's going to be so interesting for a thriller book because from the like synopsis on the back, it almost seemed like one of the characters in this dual POV is like very suspicious. So it's gonna be interesting reading that, but also getting that suspicious character's POV. So I'm very excited, and I'm already really liking the writing. But yeah, I think this is honestly where I'm gonna end this video. It only took me a day. Like I said, this was a very mild reading slump. I feel like reading slump isn't even the right word technically, because I really just needed, as you saw at the beginning of this video, I needed a reason to force myself to sit down and finish that book, which was this vlog, and it worked, and now I'm very excited to continue reading this book, and we just got out of a mini reading slump together, so let's go. I think that reading vlogs are so much fun to film. I love watching them. I love filming them, so I hope that you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. Also, filming this video and getting out of this mini reading slump has been like inspiring me all day to get to some of the fun video ideas that I have written down, so I hope that you guys are looking forward to those. But yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!